Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram Talegian, San Gabriel Valley Newspaper Group football writer, joined by San Gabriel Valley Tribune prep sports editor Fred J. Robledo. Freddie, we got a good one taking place this Friday night at Walnut. Covina, the surprise of the area, 3-0, taking on Walnut, 1-1, 7 p.m. at Walnut High School on Friday night. Let's get right into this, man.
Well, Covina's been, I think, the surprise of the Valley, along with Bonita, what they did this year. That first game against West Covina, everyone talked about the turnovers, about how they came back in the end, and it was 27-21. But then when you look how they followed, Aaron, with a 33-0 win over Gladstone, a 31-0 win over Almani. Now, granted, those aren't the greatest teams in the Mid-Valley Division, but they are controlling it. They're shutting these teams out. They're scoring a lot of points. This wasn't the Covina team we saw at all last year. I mean, this Giovanni Ainsworth, the sophomore running back, we got a chance to see him against Gladstone a couple of weeks back. That guy is for real. Him with Billy Livingston gives him such a dynamic 1-2 punch in the Mid-Valley Division, as good as any 1-2 punch probably in the whole division. I mean, I think of only a couple of teams that have two playmakers like that, and they're getting it done defensively. That's what's a key for me. Even when I look at that West Covina score, to know that they held West Covina down to 3 touchdowns was pretty impressive after what we saw West Covina do to South Hills last week. That's what stood out the most to me. Not that West Covina jumped out to this big lead. The fact that they were able to hold them to that amount of points tells me their defense is legit.
Well, now they get their first test since that West Covina game, because like you said, the other two teams, Gladstone and Almani, forget about that. This is a real test. This is a Hacienda League team that had good aspirations or high aspirations this season in Walnut. They're 1-1. They've scored 16 points and 13 points, not where you'd expect them to be point-wise, with a guy like Aubrey Coleman around.
Yeah, and Brandon Roach, the quarterback, is in a pretty good job. I think he's averaging about 120 yards a game. Mm-hmm. This is an important game for Walnut because you're wondering if they're going to factor into the whole Hacienda League mix. There's so many Hacienda League teams are doing so great right now that you figure this isn't a game they can afford to lose. Walnut, in terms of just having the swag and feeling good about yourself, you've got to beat Covina or at least put up a good showing. And if you beat Covina with what Covina's done right now, that's a big win for Walnut.
Heck yeah.
You wouldn't have said, if you asked me about this game before the season, I'd have said, this is Walnut's game. I mean, I'm picking Walnut probably by a couple touchdowns. But not now. Not the way Covina's playing right now. I was really sold a couple of weeks ago that this is going to be a legitimate team, that they're going to have a really good shot once they get into the Valley Vista League.
Right. So who are you picking now?
I'm taking Covina.
Wow,
for all said and done, I'm taking Covina.
Freddie,
I really like the way they're playing defense, and I like those two playmakers. I really think that's a tough duo for high school defenses to deal with. Unless you're talking about some really great teams, when you think of the level that Covina plays against, these guys, Aaron, week in and week out, are capable of putting up big numbers.
Right.
As long as they're not giving up. And this was the problem they had last year. They would score a lot of points, but they would give up a lot of points. Mm-hmm. They're showing this year that their defense is getting after it. You do that with Darryl Thomas's offense, well, look out. I mean, I'm not saying this is the Mike McDonough-led Colts, but look out.
I agree with you. I got Covina in this game. I thought that West Covina win was something that would send them on a major roll. It looks like it has. Yeah. It's going to be a little more difficult this week, but I think Aubrey Coleman will make some big plays, but eventually Covina will figure out how to kind of handle Walnut's offense, and Covina's offense will get its points, get the win. There you have it. Fred and I both picking Covina this week to move to 4-0. Wow. Unbelievable. Get out to this game. Again, that's Friday night, 7 p.m. at Walnut. Enjoy it.